What up, ladies and gents? This is Jason, collector of zombies, or sometimes zombie collector. And I got this eBay haul video. See, I said haul. I know everybody has an aversion because that's like the cool thing to say. But I'm so cool, it goes without saying that I would say it. See what I'm doing there? But I got this lot off of eBay for shipped. All these DVD box sets are sealed for $15. So that's the price of one of these if you found them on the shelf brand new. So I got let's see, five. I got 5 box sets for $15. All of them are from the WWF, WWE entertainment, and I only really got it for 1 or 2 of them, but I'm 100% fine with having them all. The first one up is Edge, a decade of decadence, right there. So this is a 3-disc box set, I think. Yeah, 3-disc set. I think they're all like supposed to be sealed. You know, sometimes when people tell them they're sealed, they go and buy them and then they reseal them, and then, you know, it is what it is. As long as the discs are fine and everything's supposed to be there, I'm okay with it. I'm always leery sometimes that, you know, the slip covers don't come with it, but it is what it is. So there it is, Edge. I'm at the biggest Edge mark that there's out there, but again, you know, I'm not gonna complain. I love wrestling, and there's of course gonna be lots of matches. There's matches with Undertaker, Batista, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Matt Hardy, Kane, Randy Orton, Eddie Guerrero. So there's gonna be plenty of stuff to watch there. Next up is Mr. Perfect, right there, Curt Hennig, and this is a 2-disc set. And I remember being a big Curt Hennig / Mr. Perfect fan in the 80s and 90s. I remember when he kind of teamed up with Ric Flair. They had a great run with messing with Randy Macho Man Savage. Ooh, yeah. And there's a bunch of matches on here with when he was with WWE, AWA, WCW. His induction Hall of Fame ceremony, he's in here. Some vignettes he did back in the day. The West Texas Rednecks Rapids crap video. I remember that one. So there's a lot of just different, the segments that you might not find other places. And I know I say this a lot, and I will continue to say it till the cows come home, that WWE sold their catalog, everything, to Peacock. And Peacock is actively going through their WWE/F/ every other AWA and WCW and all this other stuff, and wiping out any content that they deem offensive. So anything that we grew up with watching that you want to left intact is gone. So buying it in physical form that was from years past may be the only way to watch it the way it was intended to be seen. Regardless if you agree with it or not, that's not the argument. The argument is censorship and removing things from the public square that someone else says is offensive, but should leave it alone, because that's how the artist, how the company, the business, the whatever, the wrestlers, whatever, wanted to present it. It is our decision if we find it offensive or not. You can always skip past it, fast forward it, not watch it at all. I mean, you have that ability. There's this thing called a clicker. Clicker can do it. But with that being said, a lot of this stuff is disappearing, and it's common knowledge now that's what they're doing. So I'm trying to go up through and pick up as much as I can, because you just don't know what they're going to find. I mean, what they find offensive today, 6 months from now, may no longer be offensive. More than likely that won't be the case, but they'll find more things to be offended by and remove that content. And before long, it'll just be a bunch of matches from like 2017 on from WWE when it's been family-friendly G stuff. So who knows? Next up is the Road Warriors right here. This is a 2-disc set, and it says the life and death of the most dominant tag team wrestling in history, which I definitely agree with. Ooh, what a rush. So I'm looking forward to this right here. Definitely one of the most feared teams. I believe they got their start also in AWA. I think they're both from Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. But these guys here are absolutely this amazing Hawk and Animal. I love it. I love Hawk and Animal. And they have so much going on in this here. You have a bunch of stuff from the 80s all the way up through 2003, it looks like. So there's going to be quite a bit of stuff in here. Some stuff in here, the extras include their 1997 Raw episode that showed up, the Georgia Championship Wrestling in '83, commentary by Jim Ross and Animal, a tribute to Hawk music videos. Dude, super excited. Super excited. Next up is Hulk Hogan, unreleased collector's series right here. It's 3-disc set. I'm so pumped about this. I'm one of the biggest Hulk Hogan fans. I don't care if that's not the cool thing to say anymore, and everybody tries to bury Hogan because they think, because he said something one time, and like it just like completely ruins who you are. It's like I give people another chance. Like if they continue to go down that path, then maybe we can have that conversation. But people make mistakes. I believe in grace for forgiveness. I would hope people would do the same for me. And because you make a mistake, you should not be forever have that lingering over your head, especially if you apologize and try to move forward. So again, Hogan, not getting into that, that's a whole other video, but this discs include matches with Bob Backlund, Sergeant Slaughter, Bret the Hitman Hart, Big Boss Man, that's your boy Ric Flair, Andre the Giant, Randy Macho Man Savage, Vader, Triple H, Ravisher Rick Rude, Sting, and much more. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. They're going to have also matches here. We was AWA, WCW. So they're going to have promos in here, interviews from his career. So I definitely want to watch this. I absolutely love Hogan. I mean, he was my childhood. I mean, like if you're growing up in the 80s as a kid and in the early 90s, I mean, Hulk Hogan was essentially wrestling. I mean, we can all be fans. I've talked about all these other wrestlers, but I mean, Hogan was the thing that brought people in so much to wrestling. And I know people still recognize Hulk Hogan for his contributions. And a lot of people kind of try to downplay it now, but there are a few brave souls that still put Hogan over. And I'll be one of those guys. And lastly, probably my favorite heel of all time is Jake the Snake Roberts. And this is Pick Your Poison. I have one of his other box sets. I think it's the one that's like the Resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts. I believe I own that one. But here I did not have this one. And it has 4 hours of extras from at least up to 10 matches versus Rick Steamboat, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Honky Tonk Man, Ravishing Rick Rude, Sting, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Jerry the King Lawler. There's like snake pit moments with Hulk Hogan and Junkyard Dog, classic interviews and promos with Vince McMahon, Brother Love, Mean Gene Okerlund. I mean, dude, that's just like the who's who of 80s and 90s wrestling. I mean, I love that Jake the Snake's over on AEW now. He's popping up on commentary a little bit now over there on Dark and Elevation whenever Lance Archer's wrestling. And unfortunately, his matches only last about 2 to 3 minutes max. So Jake doesn't get to do a whole lot of talking. But, I mean, I like Jake the Snake. I know a lot of people kind of just like, over him. And they're just kind of like, whatever at this point. I still enjoy him. Is it some with nostalgia, I'm sure. But I still think he has the ability to get on a microphone and just cut some crazy promos. And he doesn't really care what he says to him. I mean, he like walks that line of what would be considered appropriate nowadays. I mean, he cut a couple promos on Brandy Rhodes, kind of when he first got there. That was a little bit like, and even I was like, wow, that got played, like, that's happening. And he says some really, I mean, I've been to his like comedy skit wrestling show, and he lets a lot of things kind of sit there and marinate. I mean, the way the world is now, he might have to pull back some more than normal, but I mean, years ago, he was just still kind of just letting it just fly. But, so anyways, Jake the Snake Roberts, Pick Your Poison. Probably, like I said, my favorite heel wrestler of all time. And so anyways, guys, let me know what you all think about all these movies. What are some of your favorite of what I've picked up? What are some of your favorite wrestlers when you were growing up? Do you collect physical media wrestling DVDs? What are some of your favorites? What are you looking for? So let's leave some comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's have some dialogue. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.